Welcome to the broadcast. I'm Joe Brennan alongside William McDermott, and today we're going to see the Saints take on the Cadets. These two teams do not like one another. That's fair to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Bad blood. Going back to the fall season, Varsity football state championship, Saints lost to the Cadets at home. Was a great game. Both teams fought, and Saints looking to take revenge. A lot of football players in the starting lineup and on the team, Joe.
Collegiate is known as St. Christopher's rival, but when it comes down to it, there is a lot of bad blood between these two teams, and they both want to take the other down.
Absolutely.
Right now, Benedictine is 8-5 on the year, while St. Chris is 6-0 coming in tonight. There's a lot to prove in this matchup. St. Chris is highly ranked in the state after last year going 8-20 and getting off to a 6-0 start, which is very impressive considering this young core.
Yeah, absolutely. Saints, no tournaments this winter at winter break as they usually do, but 6-0 record coming on strong. Really, no opponent has been close to them, so I think this will be the first real test, Joe.
Both of these teams are extremely young, filled with tons of sophomores and a couple freshmen on both rosters. Tonight in the Saints starting lineup, there's going to be two sophomores, Nigel Greene and Keyshawn Pulley, excuse me. And Keyshawn is known as the scorer on this team.
Yeah, absolutely. KP, one of the best shooters in the prep league. Only a sophomore, had a devastating injury last year, but has definitely come on strong this year and is ready to prove it with a spot as the starting point guard.
And that ball is up in the air now as Gil Williamson tips it back to Wallace. Wallace tries to get it to his man Pulley, and he's going to be covered hard by Bridges. KP maneuvers his way around as Greene tries to back down his man. Greene at the high post. Looks into Wallace. They look to go baseline. Alley-oop slam by Williamson! Throws it down, getting the game started on a strong note.
That's how you want to start the game if you're Saints.
Out in the corner, Boykin goes up for it, can't get it. Greene with the rebound, brings it down court. Takes his man up, can't get the roll, gets the follow. Goes up again. Are they going to call it a traveling violation?
Clear travel there on Nigel Greene. Just took too many steps with the ball, kind of shuffled his feet. But Saints are going to press here to start the game.
I like it. It's going to be aggressive.
Yeah, both teams like to move fast.
And there's Wallace showing that press can work. Get it down to Greene. Greene goes up and brings the hammer. 2 basket, 2 jams. Saints on a roll. We'd like to mention our clock is not working tonight, but so far we're a minute into play as Andre gets another steal, goes down the floor, goes up, and Gil Williamson with the follow! They're going to call basket interference. Terrible I don't agree with that call.
I mean, it's hard to make that call in a high school basketball game.
In an environment like this, so early in the game, I don't think you can call that. That's just me. I think if this game was at St. Chris, that might not have been a call.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes. There's Jenkins with the ball as he turns it over, looks down, KP with it, reverse, up and in! Tack on 2 for Keyshawn Pulley.
Destroying the Cadets with this press right now. They really do not know what to do.
They look frazzled as another turnover for the Cadets. Walker Wallace will secure it and bring it back to Greene, and he'll hand it off to his point guard.
I think that's 4 turnovers in a row for the Cadets. They just cannot seem to get the ball in
Looks like a
their
similar
half-court
play
set.
here. Wallace up top, pump fakes, drives right, spin, can't get it to go. Unlucky bounce. Greene up and in. Up, but gets fouled, excuse me. Dre will head to the line.
So Nigel Greene at the free throw line, another guy that plays football, Joe, star wide receiver for the Saints.
He's definitely a guy that could go Power 5 conference for football.
He drills the first.
He's crazy athletic, and it's fun to watch. I mean, it's hard to pick his number 1 sport.
Mm-hmm. Runs track in the spring as well.
Benedictine student section noise really, really loud right now. They want to make their presence known.
Saints, a lot of fans out tonight as well for them. Here's another turnover.
KP goes in the corner, puts up a three. Bang! KP nails it from three-point land. Saints go up 10-0. 6 minutes left in the first, and the Cadets will take their first timeout. William, is it just me or is this press really working?
Yeah, so 5 turnovers from the Cadets early on in the first 2 minutes of the game. Pretty incredible from the Saints. You know, we've seen the press over the first 6 games of the season, but, you know, as the student sections jaw back and forth.
These student sections are going back and forth. If you're a Saints student and you're not here right now, you might want to come. I'm telling you, this is a crazy environment.
Yeah, I mean, but Joe, this is exactly how the Saints wanted to start.
And as we mentioned earlier, our clock is not working. Wirecast, which is our platform, has had issues with their clock throughout the country. So until they can figure that out, we are working without a clock right now. And there is 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah. So the Cadets trying to organize a press break here.
I mean, they need something to start working.
Saints are kind of in a zone here with the press.
Dre deflects it, but they get it right back. Down the floor. There's Jenkins with it, kicks it over to Boykin. Top of the key, tries to run a little high pick and roll, but gets rejected. Are they going to call a late foul? A jump ball.
I don't know how you can make that jump ball call when Williamson barely had his hand on the ball.
That's a questionable call once again. They're looking underneath. Gil Williamson with the rejection.
Great recovery from Williamson there. KP Poley bringing it up.
Williamson looks underneath but can't find Wallace as he tries to back down his man. They'll feed it into him. He's got an open lane. He goes up, and that's going to be a foul. Hard foul called there.
No subs yet from the Saints. So with the starting 5 is
from either team, correct?
First. Yeah, either team.
I mean, this is going to be a game where you're going to want to keep your starters in. Saints haven't really had a game where they faced a lot of adversity, and in an environment kind of like this one, after we can call a lane violation.
I believe that's on
number 24 Rick
yeah.
Williams. He does not look happy about that one. So Wallace will get another try from the line as number 12 Cosby takes that spot. Wallace puts it in and capitalizes on that extra opportunity. Jenkins with it down low, trying to get something going. They go right through that middle of it and lose the handle. Nigel comes down. He's sprinting, beating his players.
So
something went on over there. Could have been a carry on our side.
Yeah, he kind of pinned it against his chest and was able to regain possession of the ball. Officials fortunately did not see it. I think it could have easily been a carry, Joe. But a foul was called, non-shooting, so the Saints are going to get inbound.
Checking in now is an important one. It's number 5, Wendell Tank Tomlin. Tomlin is one of those guys that's an impact player for this team. And he has been out for a majority of the season with an injury, or surgery actually, but non-basketball related, as the Saints lose possession of the ball, turns over to the Cadets. Had a surgery, I believe, on his face, and has been out for majority.
Yeah,
so he's not in that starting lineup. He's easing his way back into it. But he's definitely a guy that can make an impact.
Yeah, he's long and athletic, one of the taller guys on the team, so the only guy who can make an impact is Wallace with another steal.
And there's Greene. He's got it. There's going to be a foul. Went right underneath him and took out his legs.
Undercut him. So more free throws for the Saints and more opportunity to score.
One thing I'd like to point out about Nigel Greene, he's got a great shoe game.
Always brings the heat. First free throw is good, and Nikos Kavanis will come into the game for Andre Greene.
Taking some lessons from the squash team with their drip.
Yeah, yeah. So Kavanis coming in now as another football player for the Saints, sophomore. The heat of the sophomore class is really ridiculous if you think about it.
There are 4 football players for the Saints on this team right now, everybody except KP.
And KP could play football, but the risk of that knee injury.
Tank drives baseline, but is undercut. Great defense there by the Saints. They're going to call an offensive foul.
Sort of use his elbow to push off there. It'll be a Saints ball with another turnover. Joe, we're going to have to see the stats at halftime of how many turnovers the Cadets have, because right now it's getting into the high 10s.
Williamson throws it right underneath to Wallace, who gets the bounce. And it's in. Saints go up 16-0.
Cadets have still yet to score. They really haven't even taken a shot.
They haven't gotten a field goal up yet. They get their first one, and it's short. Wallace comes down with the board, and he's fouled immediately by Boykin. The Cadets are in foul trouble early, too. While the Saints have yet to foul, Cadets have 6.
Yeah. Another sub coming into the game. It's going to be number 4, Ant Fisher.
Along with Jackson Cray, one of the twins on this team. And Cray will guard Kavanis. Easing him right. Feeds it high post to Wallace. Looks underneath to Williamson. They're going to call an offensive foul on Williamson.
Sort of pushed off there to gain positioning. Wasn't able to get the ball to him. Pretty good defense with the Cadets there.
I think they're really trying to make this game not as physical as it's going to be.
Yeah, officials sort of with some tic-tac fouls slowing down the game. Only 4 minutes in, 4-minute mark of the first quarter.
Tank drives low. Kicks it out. Can't find anyone up top. Shot. No good. Williamson comes down by Cosby's board. Greene drives. Over 2 men. Can't get the floater. And secured by Cray. Fisher with it. On the free throw line. Brings it back. KP almost got a hand on that. That could have been another turnover for the Cadets. This is great defense by the Saints.
Their time. Double screen set here.
Another thing to point out is the Cadets do not have a shot clock like we do at home. They're going to call foul and 1 there.
A great shot there.
And who else but Tank?
Yeah. And he'll be headed to the line, and Cadets get on the board for the first time today.
And another sophomore will check in. That's number 10, Trent Hendrick. Tank puts it in. Saints lead cut to 13. Kavanis with a nice cross, drives middle, kicks it underneath to Hendrick, puts it up and in, and 1. Trent Hendrick and the Saints respond.
A great pass from Nikos Kavanis. Sort of hesitated up in the air when he got inside. The play goes credit to him. Hendrick, another sophomore who plays football, is going to be headed to the line.
Hendrick can't get the bounce, unlucky.
Cadets seem to have figured out this press better. Just not able to make their shots. There's an offensive rebound, though, from Tank. Puts it up in, and nobody really positioned to box him out there.
Kavanis with a tough man. They bring two. Greene can't find the open man. He's taking Cray ISO. That's a mismatch. He drives, puts it in, flexes that muscle. Show him what you got, Nigel.
And then Nigel Greene being too aggressive there on that press, I think. Wanted to keep the momentum after the Nigel Greene bucket, but
KP's going to check Nigel out.
What a great move from Nigel Greene.
Hamill Jones gives him a little signal, maybe not flex next time. I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was classy.
Two minutes remaining in the first. Saints lead 20-5. Tank with it, swings it over to Fisher. Right back over. They're breaking this press with Tank in there. Williamson tries to draw a charge. Wallace does, excuse me. He gets it.
Would have gotten the rebound anyways, but Wallace draws a charge, and that's another foul on the Cadets.
Yeah, why not draw a foul?
Already 8 for them, Joe. 3 for the Saints.
Saints will not go into 1-and-1 because it's an offensive foul, but they'll get the ball back.
2 minutes remaining in the quarter. Saints lead by 15. Really stellar performance from them so far.
KP calls for a screen. He looks for the roll. He has Wallace underneath, just short on the layup. He heard footsteps, didn't get it. They call a shooting foul there on KP. As Fisher tried to drive baseline, caught a little body, and goes ahead to the line for two.
The officials making a statement early on in this game. 12 calls already, Joe. Just the first quarter.
Missed both of them. Wow. KP dribbles it down. Puts his man on skates. Rolls right by him. He's got baseline. Loses the handle. And it'll stay with the Saints.
Absolute packed house tonight, Joe.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Backdoor cut by Kovanis. Pump fakes. Puts it up. Good foul.
Nice move. It was kind of a set play for Kovanis there. Unable to get it to work, but draws the foul. Sort of got it underneath where he wanted. Just a bit too late on the pass, but he'll be headed to the line nevertheless.
Reclass junior Riley Wood at the scores table, ready to check in. Another substitution. The Saints coming in tonight. Kovanis puts it in. And Kovanis gets the second.
Yeah, free throws are going to be important if, the refs are calling these fouls, Joe. You got to make them.
Fisher with it up top. Kovanis playing him as soon as he crosses that timeline. High screen and roll. Shot put up by. Can't get it by Jenkins. There's going to be another foul call.
Yeah, it was a push off on the rebound. And since it was on the rebound, it'll be Riley Wood, I think, headed to the line for the Saints. I believe that was on the shooter, I think they're actually going to give it to. Number 13, Brandon Jenkins. There's a Riley Wood, another junior on this roster. Started earlier on in the year for the Saints. But will be at the line, missed the first.
Able to get the second one. Saints continuing to extend that lead with 1:13 remaining, up 23-5. And they're going to lay off on the full court press right here as they're getting into a little bit of foul trouble. set up in a box. Both wings come up. Cosby shoots. Can't get it. They call another foul. Believe that was on Riley Wood.
Yeah, Nigel Greene's coming back into the game. For Nikos.
Could have been on Kovanis.
Yeah.
Tough angle to see the referee from here.
This is Saints going with the taller lineup here now. A lot of big guys in the game. Everybody above 6 feet.
A lot of movement up top by Jenkins. Can't get anywhere. Great defense by the Saints. Fisher with it. Screen set by Williams. Getting around it, looking for something. Can't get it. Fisher looks to the corner.
Great defense from the Saints here. No shot clock. Keep that in mind.
Great move there by Jenkins. Excuse me.
Yeah, that was a great move from Jenkins there. Had to take it into his own hands with the shot clock winding down.
5 seconds remaining. An offensive foul. Another questionable call I don't agree with.
Looked like a flop to me, but officials are going to give him the call.
No foul.
Short time here. Jenkins with it. Tries to drive. High shot. And that'll run out time. At the end of the first, Saints up 23-7. This looks to be an exciting game. And with that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Once again, I'm Joe Brennan alongside William McDermott. Saints in a heated game against Benedictine. Successful first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, Saints with that press at the beginning really worked out. It has a tough fadeaway with the hook from Gil Williamson on the baseline. It's another 2 points for the Saints.
As you were saying, that full court press worked tremendously. Saints were able to get a handful of turnovers. And Benedictine couldn't get on the board until the Saints had already reached 18. Big fella 33, Starlings, gets his first bucket of the day.
Yeah, so pretty poor switching there from the Saints. And not able to read that roll off the screen. Starlings was able to find himself open in the paint.
Williamson with another jump hook, can't get it to go. Missed everything there. Fisher comes down with it. In the corner, Boykin puts it up. Can't get the roll. Coley looking down court but doesn't see what he likes. He'll slow things down as he sets up his offense. Greene taking his man ISO. Drives, kicks. That should be a foul. Wow, he got all armed.
Yeah, a tough move there from Nigel Greene.
Ball's kicked out, and Fisher gets a hold of it. Looks underneath again to Starlings. As he tries to bully everyone. Wallace getting knocked over. No call once again. That should be a call on Fisher, and it is.
Yeah.
A couple of missed calls there. It's going to be 2 shots.
So Nigel Greene at the line now, double bonus for the Saints.
Dre gets the first one to go. McDermott, what do you think inspired this full court press that we've yet to see be utilized this entire season?
Yeah, so Benedictine's a team that really likes to run and get on you early. Saints basically did that to Benedictine. Sped the game up like too fast and forced Benedictine to a lot of turnovers. Really, you could tell Benedictine just was not used to it or ready.
They really did look frazzled. But here they get across that timeline, and Fisher's going to set up his offense. Andre with a steal, can't get it. Just out of reach. Great hustle there. Thought he might dive into the fans.
Yeah, maybe.
Nervous.
Make an attempt. Could have come up here.
There really is a battle down low on that post. Underneath. Good foul there by Greene.
Yeah, it was number 15, Lorenz Boykin, who got inside.
Rather than
headed to the line.
Rather than giving him an easy layup, fouled him, sent him on the line for 1.
I think number 13, Brandon Jenkins, really is going to be the difference maker tonight for the Cadets to get back into this game, down 18. There, he's going to have to make some shots, and we saw a couple instances where he could really, create for himself and create for his teammates.
Yeah, he really is their shot creator. He's not necessarily a playmaker or a slasher, but I'd say he's more of a shot creator. I mean, he finds the openings he can create for himself. He's proved that tonight. Six minutes remaining in the second. Saints with 7 fouls, Cadets with 10. Not sure what the call was there. It might have been a lane violation from Wallace. That's going to be another one for Boykin.
He makes it.
Yeah, he'll get that one to go. Clavanis, pressed by Jenkins. Jenkins with a foul.
Kind of a hand check call there, Joe.
And that's critical because that minor foul leads to 2 free throws.
Yeah, and Jenkins, might find himself getting into foul trouble here. Looks like a sub's coming in for him.
Saints doing a great job on free throws. With Clavanis puts that one in.
Saints opting to only put one guy on the block there. That time it was KP. Gonna go with this press again, Joe.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it. Rather than focusing on the board, focus on getting in that press. Has a higher chance of working. Gray drives. Wallace acts like Williamson with a rejection. He looks for his man KP, but he gets held up. Surprise, no call. Thrown back to Williamson. Right underneath. Andre Greene fouled on the slam.
It's a Nigel Greene, but foul nevertheless.
I got excited.
Yeah.
That looked like could have been an and-one slam. But another foul called on the Cadets. Greene goes to the line for 2.
Foul in that situation is probably what you ought to do, to be honest.
Well, it's got to be a smart foul.
Yeah.
See, he almost got away with that one. Got 2.
Yeah.
Cadet fans giving Nigel Greene a little tick-tock.
Yeah.
I like it. Fitting. Fisher trying to find a way to break this press, and they got Tank. He throws it away. Nigel Greene with it, looks down the floor. He's got Trent Hendrick. Decides to hold on to it. He'll give it up to Kovanis. Wallace, top of the key, over to Nigel. He's got a 3. Nails it from three-point land.
It's only the second 3 we've seen from the Saints so far tonight, Joe.
The entire game.
Yeah, I mean, we had that one from KP. I believe they're 2 for 2.
They are.
I mean, if you don't need to shoot them, don't. But you can make them.
Their offense is working well. With 4:30 remaining in the second, Saints still up big. Trent Hendrick with a steal. Should look down the floor. He's got 2 men. There's Nigel. Drives baseline. They're going to call him out of bounds. Yes, they will.
And Nigel Greene trying to get aggressive on the baseline. We'd love to see him to just slow it down and kick it back out. Cadets had recovered pretty well off the turnover, but you can't fault at him for being aggressive. Stepped on the baseline.
Fisher and Bridges are both out. Cadets' main playmakers. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to take over that ball handling role. Tank Williams.
Jenkins also out of the game, Joe.
This should be interesting. A lot of turnovers for possibilities. Lots of possibilities for turnovers, excuse me. Crosby with it. Swings it over to Tank. He's got Kovanis on him. That's a size mismatch. Goes up after a spin. Wallace comes down with the board. Looks down court. Finds KP one-on-one. Lays it up and in. Keyshawn Pulley for 2.
A timeout's going to be called with the Cadets. Saints up big, Joe.
We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back. Saints in a very competitive game right now. While the score doesn't show it, it feels like it. Over on the sideline, Crosby puts up a floater. Can't get it to go, and a foul called underneath. Looked like that was on Wallace, and Williams will head to the line.
Yeah, Whit Williams just using his height there off the rebound. I believe Kovanis was trying to box him out, so a smaller guy. And Wallace on that reach around called for the foul.
Can't get the second one. Kovanis down floor. There's KP for 3. High bounce. And Cadets will take it as Tank gets that board and dribbles it out. First missed three-pointer for the day. KP on Tank. Tank puts up his own and puts it in. Cadets get their first three. That was a flop. That was a flop.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I know I'm not supposed to say these kind of things, but that was a flop.
That was clear.
That was ridiculous. If he was in the NBA, he'd get fined.
Or even called for a technical foul for flopping.
I hate to see that. I'm not a fan of flops.
Yeah, with 2:47 left in the second period. You know, Saints up 20.
Well,
Cadets just haven't been able to score, Joe.
yeah, it's strange, though, because it also feels like the momentum is going the Cadets' way, but the score is not whatsoever at any point in this game.
Yeah. I mean, I think just the Saints got off to such a hot start. It was just really hard for them to bring it back.
Trey with it. Brings it over to Tank. They're really trying to get Tank on Kovanis.
This is Nick Turner.
Right back over to Williams. Williams with a mid-range jump shot.
Tough shot from the corner. I mean, if Benedictine can start making their shots, like they can make it a competitive game for the second half. But right now, I mean, they're barely getting anything to fall.
No shot called there. It's going to be a foul, but he'll still head to the line for two.
Three subs about to come in the game for the Saints, Joe.
3 starters, too, which might help.
Second free throw is good. Lead back at 19.
Tank Williams dribbling around, can't find anything. Steps back. Puts in a three-pointer.
Tough shot there from Tank Williams.
Absolutely ridiculous. Carry there called on Nigel Greene. Kovanis will check right back in. For Nigel Greene. Crosby up top, swings it over to Tank.
From the Saints.
Tries to get a steal, throws it behind his head, but it goes right back over to Tank. They set their offense up once again. It's going to be Turner up top. Over to Cray. Kovanis tries to set a charge, but Cray just goes right by him and puts it up and in.
Love to see Kovanis just put his hands up there, Joe, and try to make a play on the ball instead of trying to take the charge.
Swing over to Greene for three. Dre with a tray. Puts it in from three-point land. Tank swings it around. Looking for something. Blocked by KP. They're going to call foul. Wow.
Tough call there.
So that's going to send Crosby to the line for 3.
3 shots, yeah. Less than a minute remaining in the quarter and a half.
These are big for the Cadets. They've struggled with free throws tonight.
Yeah, they can get it under 15 before the end of the half. I think Saints need to really bring their game plan for the second half. Cadets, making a comeback here. Lead was once 23 points.
I mean, we should still say they're still up at 17, 16.
Yeah, but
Crosby with another one. Gets that one to go. Lead cut to 15. 50 seconds remaining. Saints might look for a 2-for-1 here. As Wallace puts up a hook. That one goes down. Saints up 17. 30 seconds remaining. Cray drives. Out to Tank. Tank, step back. Looking for something. I'm surprised they're not holding for the last shot here. He goes up and rejected by Williamson. They got a 3-on-2. He goes up. Blocked. That's going to go out of bounds and stay with the Saints.
yeah, I think Williamson wanted the lob, and they're actually going to change the call. The other official came over and convinced the other to change the call, so it will be Cadets ball. I think Williamson wanted KP to give him the lob there. I think he was talking to him about it after the play.
That's a big missed opportunity there for the Saints. Former Saint alum Nick Sherrod is in the building. Just like to point that out. Craig puts that one in. Gray.
It makes them both there. 15-point lead. Saints want to go fast. 3, 2.
KP put up a prayer, couldn't get it to go. Saints go into the second half, up by 15.
So,
fantastic performance there.
Yeah, Cadets made a little bit of a comeback there. Lead was at the most 23 points, but 15 now, so Cadets storming back in. We'll be right back with you guys for the start of the second half.
Welcome back to the second half of this marquee matchup. Saints started off strong, up 40-25 with a 15-point cushion going into the second. Right now we're going to see what the Cadets can do and try and make a comeback. First field goal missed as Williamson comes down with the board.
Yeah, so Joe, something we saw work really well for the Saints in the first half was the press. I mean,
KP can't get the reverse
tough
to go.
shot for KP, but the press really worked well, created a lot of turnovers and a lot of fast break points for the Saints. The rejection from Caleb Williamson.
Batted out of bounds by Bridges. Saints will retain possession. But I'm really excited to see if they will still implement that in the second half.
Yeah.
They slowed down on it closer to the second quarter due to a little bit of foul trouble. But now there's a little bit of a clean slate. I don't see why not. Williamson goes up and banks it in.
Williamson was just too deep there off the inbounds play.
The 6'7" senior uses his height to his advantage a lot of the time, and it's been working. Deep jumper, put up, can't go in. Boykin with the miss as he hit front iron. KP looking for Williamson down low. Swings it right back up top. KP with it. Hedge screen, puts up a three. Can't get the bounce. Unlucky. Got a man in the corner. Boykin with it, drives baseline, kicks underneath to Williams, and rejected by Greene. Williamson in transition, throws it right over to Bridges. He does not seem happy about that decision. Spin floater.
That was a tough shot there.
Too strong.
Yeah. It's kind of like a Victor Oladipo type move.
I like the comparison.
Yeah.
KP had Jenkins all over him, had to give it up to Greene. Greene looks to take his man to the inside, does. Tries to find Williamson, but it bounces off his hands. They're going to call it Saints ball.
Joe, you know, on the topic of comparisons, a player that KP Puller really reminds me of is Damian Lillard.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah. A guy who can just shoot the lights out and create for his teammates. He's careful with the ball.
You read my mind.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Portland, though, not doing too hot this year.
They brought back Melo, though. I like it.
Yeah. We'll see where that gets him.
Greene trying to work his way to the inside. They're going to call a foul on Boykin. He does not like it.
So Nigel Greene was trying to fight through there. And Boykin claiming he had his hands up, but obviously there was something. About 5:54 left in the third. No clock again for tonight's game.
There's Wallace in the corner. Doesn't like it. Out to KP. Bang! Nothing but net for KP. KP gets another three tonight. Difficult shot there for Crosby, and he got fouled.
The Saints extended their lead to 20 points.
Crosby puts that first one in. Who's really had your eye tonight for Benedictine?
Benedictine, I'd say it's got to be number 13, Brandon Jenkins. He's been their playmaker, been able to create shots for himself and his teammates. Leading scorer at the half. He's going to have to put a lot more work in order for the Saints to get back in, or in order for the Cadets to get back in this one.
Oh, Nigel Greene broke that press, tried to take it coast to coast, got fouled.
nobody stopped the ball there, and Nigel Greene just able to take it to the rack.
Some confusion here. I think there's a wet spot on the court. Yeah. Now on the opposing side, who have you liked for the Saints tonight?
For the Saints, everybody's just been given a great effort. Seen a lot from KP Pulley, a lot from Nigel Greene, of course, Joe. Andre Greene also given stellar minutes. Super athletic at that wing guard spot. First free throw was good from Nigel.
You really do forget that those two guys are sophomores.
Yeah, a bright future for the Saints. And, of course, they got that athletic leadership and two big guys down low, the captains this year. Saints basketball is looking up this year, Joe. After, what was considered one of the worst years in recent memory for Saints basketball last year, 8-20. If they win this one, they'll already be at 7 wins, and it's started January, so.
It's an exciting time to be a Saints basketball fan, for sure. In the corner, shot put up by Crosby, air ball. Greene in transition, Williamson with the spin and the slam! Gil Williamson throws it down. After a fantastic dime from Nigel, excuse me. Great trap there. Tank looks confused. Brings it off to Fisher. Might have gotten away with a travel there. They look lost. Traveling violation, Saints ball. Saints up 22, trying to get their biggest lead of the night. With a bucket here would secure that. Dre with it up top, working with KP.
Lob.
Looking up, couldn't get the alley-oop, a little too high. This gym would have gone crazy.
Yeah, Gil tried to grab it with one hand. It's a pretty good pass from Nigel Greene, but
Williamson has had a couple nice oops this year. KP forces Fisher into that trap. Wallace comes to help. Ball knocked loose by Wallace. They're a scramble on the full floor. KP picks it up. Gets poked away. Right back over. There's Crosby in the breakaway.
That was a great play from Crosby. Never giving up on the play. Nigel Greene wants to go fast with it.
He's blocked by Tank. Saints will hold on to it. Ball deflected. Fisher able to get a hold of it. Nigel Greene
playing
working him hard.
Staying with them, though. And then he's trapped in the corner. They're going to call a foul.
Is that a foul or a jump? We can call straight foul. Wow.
Well, that's on Nigel, too. Might be heading into foul trouble here.
Greene on Turner. Turner with a nice crossover. Goes in. Offensive foul! You love the hustle, the scrappiness by Wallace. Hendrick and Wood will check in for the Saints. try and give their guys a break. Wallace will have the inbound here as Hendrick and Williamson fall back. They continue to wipe down that floor after Wallace took a fall. He hit the deck hard.
So Cadets with the press of their own here. Interesting to see how the Saints react.
Theirs has not worked as well. They got Williamson wide open underneath. He's got 2 on him now. Goes up, blocked. Hendrick with it. Now back to Walt. There's a
like
mad
to see him
scramble.
reset it here. Foul. Like to see Williamson just pass it back outside to Wallace.
I couldn't even tell who had the ball the entire time.
Yeah.
It was a cluster. But Williamson ended up with it, put up a shot and got fouled. Once again, Fisher and Bridges are out of the game. Cadets don't have their primary ball handlers. And the Saints bring back this full court press. They're able to break it. In the corner is Tank. Dribbles through a couple men but loses it. Right back up with it goes Williams, but he got either rejected
Kavanis has
or
got to
way
slow
too
it down
short.
here.
Wood got fouled.
Yeah, Kavanis just being a bit too aggressive there. Saints got lucky with the foul call, though. I don't know if that was much of a foul, but I'm going to take it.
Kavanis swings it over to Wallace, who takes his man down in the post. A nice spin and one! Show him what you got, Walker Wallace. Wallace extends this lead to 23, the highest it's ever been. Saints really taking control once again in the third quarter. And it bounces up and in.
Number 3, Kobe Herman, checking the game.
First time
for the first time, yeah. First time we've seen him. Interesting to see how he could facilitate this offense. It's just 3, airballed.
Didn't contribute much there.
They will be staying with the Cadets. It got deflected to the Saints.
Herman again brings it over to Tank. Tank's got Williamson on him. I like that matchup. And Wood with all ball, but that's going to be called a foul. So that'll send Tank to the line. Well, they've all struggled tonight. Tank has definitely performed the best from the free throw line. Not jinxed it.
Yeah. And, with a minute 57 left, more fouls being called, Joe, in this third quarter, just like the first half.
Tank gets that one to go, and Williams will Turner will substitute in. And the Saints respond with a big group substitution. KP, Dre, and Nigel.
Now back to the starting lineup right now.
Let's go, Tank!
I like this for the Saints. Got all their starters against a lot of bench players. KP drives in, floater, short. Turner with the board, looks to go in transition. And they can't get a hold of it. Wallace
Another
comes up with
turnover
it.
for the Cadets.
Gives him a pass fake. Gives himself some room. Got to get across that line, and they do. Trying to find KP open for a three. Can't get there. Wallace.
Trying to isolate this side of the court here.
Definitely a mismatch underneath.
Great job. Walker Wallace found the opening there in the defense, able to find Williamson open underneath the basket. And a lot of contact there on the shot.
That's one thing that's great about Wallace's game. He's a great passer for a guy of his size. So there's a minute remaining in the third quarter. Saints still lead by 25. They slowed down in the second quarter, but they've come out hot once again. It's scary to think that this is a second half team after what they did in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cray able to get the second. KP finds Nigel. He's got some room to work with. They're slowing it down. Be wise to go for a 2-for-1 here. Let's see if they can figure that out. Hard screen set by Wallace. Trent Hendrick underneath. Makes a man miss. Puts it up. Puts it in.
Great job from Trent Hendrick. Slips in there. Able to get the basket to go.
Herman finds Tank underneath. There's all foul there on Wallace. Got a piece of his arm.
Less than 30 seconds left, 24 seconds in the quarter. Saints up big over the Cadets. Really extending their lead, coming with the same momentum that they had in the first half.
It's scary to think that this is one of the Saints' tightest games this year.
Yeah, I mean, the Saints have had games where they won by 50 points, 60 points. Missed free throw there.
I mean, this has been a team that has proven they have a chance for the Prep League, State.
Yeah, Trinity is a team who everybody thought was going to be really tough to beat this year. They've lost a couple games. They seem to be a bit down. Not quite sure what the issue is. Saints play them next Friday, I believe, at home, or it might be away. I'm not sure.
I know it's at home. It's either next week or the week after.
Yeah.
It's Collegiate on a Friday and then Trinity the Friday right after.
Yeah.
Is that going to be an and one? Count the basket? A very casual and one by Nigel. They're going to discuss that a little bit. They'll give it to him. No, they're going to waive it?
Waive it. It'll be a 1-and-1, it looks like. Calling on the floor.
Not going to give him any continuation there. But yeah, it's Collegiate on a Friday and Trinity on a Friday.
I can't remember which one is which, but yeah. That'll be 2 interesting weeks for sure. Saints play at Woodbury, I believe, this coming Tuesday, Joe.
I'm not sure how they're doing this year.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Another Prep League team, I'm not quite too familiar with. Saints just now getting into conference play and stuff, so.
The local Virginia team that has been outstanding, Paul VI.
Yeah, Paul VI is always really good. I could see the Saints playing them in the state tournament this year later on. I believe Paul VI plays Sierra Canyon later this year. That game I think is going to get televised by ESPN. So
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, they're ranked as a top 5 team in the nation.
Yeah, Paul VI, always a team that has talent, but never that good. They have Starlings on the shot.
Big boy with the bucket.
So, yeah.
So at the end of the third, Saints lead 57-34. We'll be right back after the start of this fourth quarter.
Not ready.
Ready. Welcome back to the fourth quarter of play. Saints lead big in this hostile environment. Kavanis with it over to Wallace. Looking for Greene in the corner. KP up top for three.
They had the set play they wanted, got the open three at the top of the key.
Just couldn't get it to go.
Play, though. They're not able to do anything there.
That's a shot that typically falls for KP. And on the other end, Williamson with a foul. That'll send the Cadets to
too
the line.
much of Nick Turner's hand there.
Nick Turner's a guy that hasn't really made a huge impact tonight.
He's gotten a lot of minutes, but just haven't really seen him do anything.
Been a little surprised by that. He's not a starter. He's a guy that typically comes off the bench and has a pretty big impact. Aaron misses both free throws. They call lane violation. Third lane violation we've seen tonight.
Yeah, just giving him more opportunities. Definitely something the Saints can, just a discipline thing, you know?
I mean, it can be tough because a lot of times those don't get called. It's similar to jaywalking. You know. Herman with it up top, swings it over to Tank. They're looking for their big boy downstairs.
Turner in the corner here. Greene right on him. It's a tough shot.
Long pass by Wallace on the money to KP. A beautiful dime.
Such a great pass.
That was a dish so nice, I want to see it twice.
And that, not such a good pass there, yeah.
Got a little too excited, called it. Kavanis harassing his man up top. Herman finds a way to get it away to Starlings. Offensive foul. Wallace with his fourth charge of the night.
Fourth or fifth, for sure. With 6:32 left in the fourth quarter.
So the Saints get it back. Still up 25. .6:30 remaining in the game. Wallace at the top of the key. Williamson dives, goes up, gets fouled. He'll head to the line. Technical foul called on Cray. A little bit of chirping out here. We were saying it's a little hostile. There's some emotions.
Yeah. Maybe a double, actually. Could have been a double technical.
That's an ejection.
Just like bumped into him and started. Yeah, so Joe, it's a double technical. I believe that means an ejection for Cray.
Cray's still in the game, correct?
Well, his brother.
Oh, it's the other
Yeah.
Cray. Okay.
Yeah.
They're twins.
Yeah.
So, wow. That's the first time I've ever seen a double tech in high school basketball.
Yeah.
Never seen Andrew Bynum get them a lot.
Officials were quick on that one, too. Wanted to lock that down before it escalated any quicker.
I can't imagine what he said. Williamson able to get that one to go. We'll keep moving on as the Cadets are down one of their players. And a carry call on Fisher.
Saints are looking to extend the lead to 30 here.
Andre Greene went
Nigel
over.
Greene just was not paying attention.
It's hard to hear in here.
Yeah.
It really is hard to hear.
Nigel Greene had to go up to him and hug him to get him to sub out.
Wallace up top, looks for Gil Williamson down low, puts up another jump hook, and it drops. Saints go up by 29 with 6 remaining. Fisher drives. Questionable foul there.
Yeah,
on
I think
Wallace.
Wallace just got him with his hip a bit there.
Fisher will head to the line. 8th foul called on the Saints tonight. Saints have 8, Cadets have 10. Both teams in the bonus. Benedictine in the double bonus. Harrison Wood, younger brother of Riley, will check in for his first time tonight. Another one of those young guys.
Yeah, Coach Jones being a bit more conservative with the lineup tonight, Joe. In the rotation, just want to keep guys, have a lot of experience in these situations.
I mean, it's an emotional
hostile
game.
environment.
It's an emotional game, and you're going to want your more.
Nice pass from Harrison Wood, though.
You want guys that are typically going to be better at handling that in this kind of environment. So I understand the substitution tonight, and I think he's done a pretty good job with it. Williamson's been at the line a lot tonight.
Yeah, he's got a lot of minutes in.
Another technical. Wow. That was on 24, Whit Williams, one of their starters.
I'm not quite sure what the deal was with that. Did you see it, Joe?
No idea.
Yeah.
He was talking.
Yeah.
He was chirping a little bit. But I'm not sure if it's a double or not.
Don't believe so.
I believe it was a double.
I'm not sure. Maybe the coach just subbed them out.
It's hard to hear the PA guy in here.
Yeah. A lot of noise here.
But
Free throws are good for Williamson.
Extends it to a 30-point game.
5:40 left in the fourth quarter.
Timeout taken by the Cadets, and we're going to take one, too. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and to confirm, the first technical, which was on Cray, was in fact a double. The most recent one on Williams was a singular. So he's eligible to come back into this game, but I'm not sure if we're going to see him due to a coach's decision. Wood brings it down. It's a little trap that finds Williams, and they're called travel.
Yeah, Williamson shuffled his feet there when he got the ball.
Fisher has provided a lot of bench minutes tonight for the Cadets. One of those Lou Williams, Jamal Crawford kind of guys. Has a huge impact, just not a starter. Williamson is swiped away, but he'll hold on to it. Saints retain possession.
Wood's a guy, another young sophomore, Joe.
We got 6 sophomores on this team.
Yeah, only plays basketball. Inside to his brother, Riley Wood. Lays it in.
Saints up by 32. This is a game we all thought would be a little bit closer. And Saints jumped out hot. Benedictine showed, hey, we're here to play. And then Saints took right back over. I mean, it can be tough to play in an emotional game like this. And we talked about, at the beginning, both of these teams are young. And I think the Saints just handled it a lot better and just have been executing better all season. Wood drives in, finds Williamson. Hook, can't get it. Fire rejected by Hendrick. On a big size mismatch, too. Wood drives to a strong left side and puts it in.
Coach Lewis happy on the bench. All the coaches are.
Coble checks into the scores table for his first time tonight. As a three-pointer is made by the non-ejected Cray. Wood kicks it to Wood. Williamson up top. They're looking for Hendrick down low. They're going to call an offensive foul on Dre.
Yeah, just too much pushing down there.
So as we mentioned, in the oncoming weeks, Saints are going to have a lot more league games.
Yeah, so we got, I just confirmed that they got Woodbury Forest on the road next Tuesday, and then they got Trinity at home, Joe.
That should be an
on
exciting
Friday.
matchup.
Yeah, and then they got Collegiate the next week. Collegiate's a team who lost a lot, but they can still compete. St. Anne's Belfield, another unknown this year.
I'm excited. I mean, this is a year where things have been shaken up. Teams that used to be elite are now falling. Teams that didn't look like they were going to be heading the right direction this year have gotten the wheels going in the right direction, including us. This basket's put in, extending the lead to 30. I'm hoping to see a couple guys come off that bench tonight for the Saints. And we're going to start to see them roll in. Taylor and Matt Grant, two other young guys, will check in.
And foul called on Tank there.
Matt Grant, part of that athletic sophomore core. Four of the 6 sophomores on this team are also football players.
Yeah, I mean, just a lot of athletic talent. Saints are big and athletic this year. I think that's, main reason of why they've been successful.
So, Dermot,
Yeah.
in your eyes, what do you think has been the big turnaround from last year's season to this year's?
I think it's just, I think the team has grown up, Joe. A lot of just maturity changes. They're playing as a team, and that's what's most important.
Oh, $1 million move with a 10-cent finish there by Grant. Got him with the Euro, but couldn't get it to go.
Yeah, so I think they're just playing as a team. I think that's really important.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at last year's roster, only 2 guys gone with Gabe and Arnold. And
Yeah.
those are 2 important guys. But, I mean, this is a young team, and they're just developing quickly, playing fast. I think Coach Jones deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah.
I think he's doing a great job with what he has. And this is one of the first years, I'll say the first year in maybe 5 or 6 years, that the Saints really haven't had that one-star guy.
Yeah, they've always had it with Alex Petrie, Nick Sherrod.
Gibson for a year.
Yeah, Gibson.
Arnold last year.
They've always had that one guy, but, this year it's just collective effort. Everybody does their part. And with a minute 31, Coach Jones is going to call a timeout. And looks like he's going to get some subs in the game.
Which I like. But
Fire him up to play.
But ever since I was in kindergarten at St. Chris, I can remember it was Rodney and Jermaine.
Yeah.
And it's just been that slow stream of a superstar or two for the Saints. And then this year, it's just guys that their main sport isn't even basketball are leading this team with Wallace and Williamson.
And they're getting it done, though. This is going to be 7-0 on the year. Going into Prep League play, Joe. Home and away for every team in the Prep League. So they will play Benedictine again, by the way, at St. Chris. So watch out for that. I believe that's either late January or early February.
That last basket for Wood went everywhere, touched every single part of that rim except for the bottom. Great driving kick there, travel. Coble puts up a three but can't get it to go. Tank brings it down. Finds Cray for three. Can't get that. Coble looking in transition. At the same time, just holding on to it right now.
Inside to Wood. With the contact, couldn't get it to go.
I would really just look to dribble it out right here. And Herman's going to try and do something. Travel, and we're going to see a big group substitution here for the Saints.
Clayton Hilbert, Joe Blazak, Cameron Talibi, and Jude Reeferson checking into the game. Everybody getting playing time tonight, Joe.
In one of the previous games this year, 16 of the 17 players on the team scored.
Just crazy.
So the ball definitely gets shared around when in games like these, especially, as you mentioned earlier, games where it ends with the Saints' 60-point victory. Byer gets his first point of the night. All right, it's game time. I would love to see a bucket from any one of these players. They're going to trap Hilbert. Jude looks up, finds Cameron. Cameron's got some space. Kicks it over to Wood. Wood gets doubled. Finds Jude. Jude turns it over to Tank. Tank, wide open, breakaway.
Fouled by Harrison Wood with 6 seconds.
The Saints will look to close things out here. 6 seconds remaining. Inbounded to Wood. And he'll dribble it out. Saints finish with a 23-point victory. Saints next game, as we mentioned on Tuesday.
Yeah, at Woodbury Forest. We'll be streaming it, so be sure to tune in for that.
Saints go to 7-0. That's all. I'm Joe Brennan with William McDermott. Stay classy, St. Chris.